Frank.
You heard us.
He's my lawyer. It's privileged.
I'd have given you the same goddamn defense.
But you wouldn't have been as believable.
If I didn't fuck you?
It works.
You slept with him?
I don't think we ever slept, did we, Frank? Don't look so hurt, Alan. I fucked you, I fucked Andrew, I fucked Frank. That's what I do. I fuck. And it made me $8 million.
So, you're fucking Dr. Paley here, and he mentions a rich patient, a rich, delicate patient. And you figure you can fuck yourself into the will. You know how to do that.
I'm hard to resist.
The coke came from Dr. Paley, didn't it?
Made it untraceable.
Why are you telling him?
He's telling us.
Fuck if you didn't play me perfectly. Paley goes on the stand, makes you look guilty as hell. Then you set me up to destroy him so I can make you look innocent. Sort of a reverse character witness, huh? You're a real genius.
Sorry, I can't say the same thing about you. I always thought the message on the answering machine was a little over the top, Frank, but you even bought that. What are you doing here, anyways? Ambulance chasing? Looking for a new client? Talk to Alan here. He thinks he's in trouble.
You don't give a shit about me.
You're right. I've forgotten you already.
Welcome to the Blind Rage Podcast. This is Brandon Ford.
God.
Oh.
And this is Tony the Tiger, the thunder from down under.
I really wasn't expecting you to do that at all.
Well, we're about to watch one of the good erotic thrillers from the 90s. Why not?
One of the best erotic thrillers of the 90s, thank you. Although some people might disagree, including Roger Ebert, who put this in one of the worst movies ever made.
In the West End.
Yeah. No, ever made.
Yeah.
Ever. All time. Oh, it's in the bottom 10?
So, like, it was... Because I was seeing the trivia about it, and he put it in his worst 10 movies ever made.
Okay, well, he needs to just continue rotting in his hole. All right, anyway.
Turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, so we are doing 1993's Body of Evidence, starring the one and only Madonna, Willem Dafoe, Joe Mantegna, Jürgen Prochnow, Frank Langella, Ann Archer, and the one and only Julianne Moore.
Yes.
Who does very well in the small role that she has, I think.
Yeah.
I did want her to be in more of the movie, but...
Yeah, I kind of feel that her role was, like, almost disregarded. Like, the fact she was like... She's like, works in the kitchen or something, doesn't she?
She owns the restaurant.
Well, that's how much I was paying attention to her.
Oh, well, that's no good. All right, well, before we get...
And I love Julianne Moore. Just let
movie,
me reassure that.
Yes, as do I. She's one of my favorite actresses. Okay, so before we get on with the movie, I'm just going to get the plugs quickly out of the way. Just so I don't end up on the corner of cracking 8-ball smoking light bulbs with no teeth, I would like to encourage everybody to please check out my books on Amazon.com. You can find them there in hardcover, Kindle, and paperback editions by typing in Brandon Ford. You can also find my author page, which you can subscribe to in order to receive email notifications whenever I have a new release. I also have several titles available on Audible, so which you can find by typing in Brandon Ford. You can find me on Letterboxd and Twitter at Brandon Ford. You can find Tony on Letterboxd at Tony_the_bear. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, suggestions. Did I say Instagram? Shitballs. Instagram, please follow me if you don't already. Writer Brandon Ford. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, suggestions, recommendations, please email me directly at blindragepod81@gmail.com. Please don't forget to stop by the official Blind Rage Podcast Facebook page to like and subscribe. Last and most importantly, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the Blind Rage Podcast on your preferred podcasting platform. I also want to give James a shout out. James is on a sabbatical at the time of this recording, but we are hoping that he will be returning very soon. Until then, you can check out his photography on j.everett photography, all one word, j.everett photography. So go and support James. He's a good guy.
So is he with the Dalai Lama in Tibet?
Yes, that's exactly.
Well,
yes.
Didn't he move to LA?
Yes, he went to see Fernando Lama. Okay, now would you? Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ!
Breaking my balls. So anyway, recent views. What have you been watching down under?
I have been not so much busy, but my days are filling, and I'm like going to bed at like 8 p.m. But in amongst all that, I did manage to squeeze in a viewing of Prometheus with Michael Fassbender. He's always good to look at, but in this he looks a bit creepy because he's an android. No, but I enjoyed that again. It's a slow movie. I do much prefer the Alien movies than this one.
I'm assuming that was a Matthew pick.
No, well, we've been watching the Alien movies, and we were going to watch Resurrection, but we saw we had sort of watched it kind of recently enough that we couldn't be bothered to watch it again, so we just... And he hasn't seen Prometheus, so... Or not all the way through. And didn't mind it. I mean... I should force myself to watch Alien Covenant, even though I didn't hear great things about it, but just to sort of tick it off the list. Aside from that, I have been watching Sweet Fuckle.
Oh, is that on Netflix?
Oh, no, actually, I've been watching The Big Bake, which is where bakers from America and Canada compete to make monstrous cakes.
Oh, I think you mentioned that last time too.
Oh, maybe I was watching the Sewing Bee last time, but I don't know.
Oh, you were watching that? Yes, I do remember you saying that you were like an old lady.
Yes.
Because you are very much an old lady.
Although I bought myself something from the hardware store to make like a harness for myself, but not out of material. So.
Oh God.
So we'll see how that comes out.
A sex harness?
No, to wear, not to be hung up in.
What do you? That's what a harness is for.
Yeah, to be worn. So to be worn.
No, to be.
No, it's not a sling.
Held aloft.
No. To be no. Not like that. It's plastic chains, so I don't think that would really hold me anyway.
I don't understand you sometimes.
And what have you been watching?
I don't know who you are.
We're into some erotic thriller. Oh God.
All right. Settle. Well, let me just say this first of all.
Oh God.
I'm really not comfortable watching movies starring actresses who I knew as being very young and playing child or teenage roles, and now playing very adult roles. That makes me uncomfortable because it makes me feel old. So, having said that, I watched a movie called Don't Tell a Soul with Rainn Wilson and Mina Suvari playing a mother to two teenage boys. That was frightening.
Well, that was like that Alicia Silverstone movie where she played a mother
I know.
to teenagers.
Yeah. I remember thinking to myself, it's over when Mandy Moore started playing mother roles.
Yeah.
But yeah, Don't Tell a Soul was about these two teenage boys who plan to, or they steal this a bunch of money from this woman's house who lives on the street. I don't know how they know she has this much money, but she has thousands of dollars in the house. And so they steal the money, and while running away, they get seen by a security guard who's played by Rainn Wilson, who chases them, and they run into a wooded area, and he falls into a hole. I don't know exactly what kind of hole it was. It's like some kind of a sewage something or other. I don't think it was a manhole, but it was some kind of hole. And he's still alive, but he can't get out because he broke his ankle. And so they are, the younger one is struggling on what he wants to do because he wants to help him, but the older one is kind of the more domineering one, and he's saying, if you help him, I'll kick your ass, and blah, blah, blah. So it was okay up until that point, and then it started to go off the rails and became a complete mess of a film. That was the only thing I kept thinking to myself was messy.
Yeah.
This is so messy. This is messy.
It was like scat.
It was very, very first draft. Ish. I like Rainn Wilson as an actor. I think he does well, or he has done well in the things I've seen him in. This was not a good movie for him. And apparently the older brother, he's an English actor who's known for, I don't know, some British TV show. It seems Finn something.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know young actors anymore. Again, because I'm old. So yeah, that was not good.
You
at
only
all.
know old young actors.
And I do. That's true. And I watched another movie that was a very paint by numbers supernatural movie, thriller called The Midnight Man.
Yeah.
And you familiar with that one?
No.
It has Lynn Shay and Robert Englund.
Okay.
Robert Englund was actually in it for more than 3 minutes, if you can believe that. But it's about these kids who play this game in which they evoke this demonic entity known as the Midnight Man. And there's all of these rules, tricks on what to do if, or when he is evoked. And so it's years later, and Lynn Shay is the older version of one of the children in the beginning, and her granddaughter is watching her. And this I don't understand really, but she keeps a box in the attic, a wooden box that is held together with a little rope or string or something, and inside are handwritten directions or instructions on how to call the Midnight Man. Why she kept that, I don't know. I think there were some kind of twists. I don't know. It was all very predictable and very derivative, and it was not good at all. But I like it when Lynn Shay, plays a little crazy.
Yes.
Because she's very enjoyable when she's over the top. Yeah. Oh, please don't pay any mind to that. So, yeah, and Robert Englund kind of, even though he wasn't supposed to be a menacing or creepy character, I don't think he's been playing those kinds of characters for so long. I don't think he knows how to not play them anymore.
Yeah, he's just got vocal memory that he can't escape.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he could put on like a friendly, jovial voice if he tried.
I mean,
but he plays a doctor.
There was one movie where I think it sort of came close to being jovial. I think it was called The Paper Route.
Yes, we spoke about
and
this
I haven't
before.
seen it for such a long time, but I feel like what his character was, he was sort of the kind of like that salt man from Home Alone. Where...
Yes, and I think you made
No,
that
I
exact same
don't think I
comparison
did.
then too. I think you did.
So, like, he starts out playing two-type, and then he changes, and so seeing that change, you sort of can forgive the gravelly, menacing voice. Or, like, you can buy it that he's actually a nice person, not a, pedo killer.
Oh, no.
Well, like Freddy Krueger.
Yes. Well, his voice was altered in post, so when he played Freddy, so...
I mean, I saw him in V, and he had a softer voice than that, but it was still...
Well, that was before.
Yes, yeah.
That was before Freddy. He was also in. I watched the Tobe Hooper movie Eaten Alive recently, and he had a small role in that. And he was like it was supposed to take place in Texas, so he had a southern twang in it, and he was kind of a predator. He was not very nice to a woman who he paid for her company.
Yes. So it wasn't the type of
all
Eaten Alive that happens to Madonna.
No. Mm-mm. Speaking of which, I think we should get on with the movie. All right. So if you want to watch along, I'm sure this is available on Amazon Prime. You should have this information.
Yes. At
But
your
you
fingertips. Google it and you'll find it.
Yeah.
Or if you go to like some older people, you might find it on VHS taped from telly, like in the back of their cabinet or something. With the tab taken out so they don't record over it.
Right, yeah. Okay. Tony's trying to be funny. But we're just going to turn the page and play the movies now. So if you're watching along, we are going to begin Body of Evidence in 3, 2, 1, play. So this was your first time seeing Body of Evidence.
jealous? Wishing that you could remember your first one.
I do remember
Do
my
you know
first
De
time.
Laurentiis has made quite many movies? And the name looks so familiar, and
Yes.
I was like, I've seen that name many times before.
Oh, yes. He's a very, very accomplished
Prolific.
producer, yes. Very prolific, yes.
So did Madonna and Uli not get along?
I think they got along. The only thing that I think that they were not on the same page about was the sex scenes, because she wanted to do them her way.
Well, not rehearse them.
And well, they did rehearse them.
Yeah.
But she wanted to improvise too.
Yeah.
So she just wanted him to step back because, she wanted to take charge.
Well, she was quite angry at the ending that they did.
Yeah, they changed it. Well, I don't agree with what she said, because She thought the ending was misogynistic because she played a woman who has sex, and women who have sex in movies have to die. She may have had sex, and a lot of sex at that, but she also killed somebody.
Yeah, but
So that was why she
didn't
died.
really kill them. As in,
Oh, yes, she
did
She killed him. Yeah, that was an.
they went out smiling?
It's true.
I mean, if someone were to murder me by fucking me to death, I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't look like he's in pain.
but- Well, I mean, when you get Frank Langella into it, you get to know her MO.
Yes, yeah.
So, and she chose Willem Dafoe for this. She wanted him. I know that they were friends at that time. I don't remember how I know that, but I do know that, and that was probably why. But I had, when we were preparing to do this, I had an odd thought, and that was maybe she chose Willem Dafoe because he's so gross, and he would make her look all the more attractive by
God.
comparison.
That's terrible.
Although I don't think that's just my speculation, and I don't really think that Willem Dafoe needed to assist in her visage
Yes.
at all, because I think she looks quite beautiful in this. But she had worked with, there he is, right there, Joe Mantegna.
Fat
They
Tony.
were in Speed the Plow together.
Oh, yes.
Fat Tony, yeah. They were on Speed the Plow on Broadway.
That is a nipple clamp.
Oh, you know, from L.A.
It just happened to be a well-informed individual.
I'm sure you know all about nipple clamps.
I'm more just in disbelief that they don't know what it
Harry,
is.
you want to take a picture of these gouges for me, please?
Looks like she had him chewing on the wood.
No, it looks more like she had him handcuffed.
Well, they were pretty big.
Yeah, they are. Like, I feel that they're a bit too big for nipple clamps. That they're more they remind me of like science clamps. There's Anne
And
Archer.
there's Anne Archer.
Rebecca Carlson.
His girlfriend.
God damn, that movie's still playing in the background.
I know.
Secretary for the last.
It's a long
Yes.
movie. Because apparently it was running when she left the night before.
Yes.
Or he was watching it.
Yes. And, you know, when it gets to the end of the tape, it rewinds and ejects it.
It's true.
Be kind.
It does not play over.
Well, have you ever fallen asleep with a DVD playing and then woken up to the menu constantly looping?
And of the Holy Spirit.
No,
he's still
but I do remember when I was dating somebody, we were watching a Carrie, and things started to happen on the couch, and he had kind of a smallish apartment, but things went over into the bedroom, and while things were happening in the bedroom, they're all gonna laugh at you over and over in the living room.
We'll pray.
Now,
Miss Carlson?
yeah, for the last time.
Frank Langella.
I will say,
That much like a lawyer?
you know,
Who else would speak to me?
I do, as I've said many times, that I've always felt that Madonna has gotten a bad rap as an actress, and I do think that she has done some very good performances, and she's also done some very bad performances, but I don't think she's anywhere near as inept at being an actress as she has been accused of.
I love
In this one,
so hard for everybody
I think it's not a consistent performance. I think there are moments where she does very well, and there are moments where it's kind of iffy.
Yeah.
But I think the former outweighs the latter, as opposed to the next best thing, where the latter outweighs the former.
See, in this movie, I actually felt I would have preferred it less as an erotic thriller. I think I would have actually enjoyed her, because her acting during the dramatic scenes I found quite fine. But I think them blending it with the sexual scenes, it kind of tarnished the better acting.
He was too old. He's right.
That's a very narrow view of love.
There's Julianne Moore.
Did he have a family?
Lots of wives. No
I was very surprised by what she said about this.
Well, she didn't like the nude scene.
Yes, but I think the nude scene... Well, she's done a lot of nude scenes. But I think her nude scene in Boogie Nights is just as exploitative and gratuitous as the one here, if not more.
But I guess Boogie Nights was about the porn industry.
Yeah.
But in saying that, this is an erotic thriller, so there would be an expectation of nudity and simulate sex scenes.
Besides, you don't have to worry about that stuff yet.
This kid who plays the son really doesn't have...
No, I
a
completely
whole lot to do.
forgot about him later. I was like, where the hell is he?
I don't think he's in the rest of the movie.
It's like, were Julianne and Willem actually a couple? I thought they were, but then with how much they hardly spend much time together, and the kids not really with them. I was thinking, are they separated but still friendly and still having sex every now and then?
No, they're still together. It's just that she is a workaholic because she owns the restaurant, and she refuses to hire a manager, as he just said. You know what though? Even if you don't like Madonna's performance in this movie, everybody else does exceptionally well, including Willem Dafoe and Joe Mantegna. And of course Julianne. Ann Archer is fine, although she's a bit whiny for me.
Then it's false positive because we never did.
But yeah, everybody I think does very well. I don't think that the studio was confident in the movie because MGM pushed it, because it was supposed to have a release toward the end of '92. Then they pushed it back to January of '93, and January of '93, for those of you who don't know, is a dumping ground for movies studios know are going to fail.
Yeah.
So, and this actually fared better than I thought it did at the box office, because it had a $30 million budget, but it made $38 million, so it wasn't a total flop.
Yeah. When was the sex book released?
October of '92. Yes. Speaking...
No, you go.
Go ahead. No, I was going to tell Sir, but you...
Oh, no, there was sort of a suggestion that it didn't do so well because the allure was to see Madonna naked, but then if the book came out, then you didn't need to go see it with the movie.
A lot of people didn't get to see the book, though, because it sold out very, very quickly. There was only one pressing of it. But I was going to say that my parents were, because they knew I was a very big fan at the time. They were not very happy with the direction Madonna was taking her career at this point, because they knew about the sex book and they knew about this
And the sex album.
and
Cocaine slipped to a rich old man dying of
erotica. They weren't that concerned about erotica, but they refused to let me. They refused to let me see this when it first came out, and I think I probably saw it around, I want to say, 95.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it too long after the fact, but I saw it. I saw it because I found it previously viewed in a supermarket, because in the supermarket, one of the supermarkets nearby, they used to rent movies, and yeah, they were selling this as a previously viewed VHS, but it was the R-rated version.
Yeah.
And I did not know that. I didn't know there was an R-rated version, and I had watched the R-rated version so many times that I played a game when I finally got the unrated version of this was in the movie, this was not in the movie. So I was able to pick out every single frame that was cut for the R.
How much? Well, wouldn't you
And a
laugh?
lot of it was.
So is
Come on.
A lot of it was
is Willem cut?
8 million, give or take.
Sorry.
That's a hell of a motive.
I know how Bobby works. He's gonna build his case on your sex life. He's gonna drag out every dirty little thing you ever did.
It wasn't dirty.
I'm willing to
No,
bet
not
the
to you,
beret
not to Andrew.
was Madonna's
But people here
choice,
have very
because she
conservative
does
views about
wear
sex.
No, they
berets
don't.
in her personal
Really?
life.
Okay.
They're such hypocrites.
I
Yeah.
draw more attention to her eyebrows. that was screaming at me through this movie.
How you led Andrew into perversion.
I didn't have to
Because
be
they were so
Yes.
thin.
That was so 90s. I'm surprised she didn't have like dark lip liner through.
All we did was make love.
Handcuffs.
Now,
It was different, but it was still making
this
love.
whole scene is looped
Yeah.
80 yard, and I know that
Seen
because
it.
if you watch the trailer, it's the same footage, but the delivery is different, and it's very bad.
Hurt each other.
Okay.
So I'm glad that they 80 yard
Yeah.
it.
What do you mean by bad? The delivery or the fact of where it was filmed?
Her delivery in particular was not good. It was like she didn't. To me, from that footage that's in the trailer, it was like she didn't understand what her character was meant to be doing during that scene, and that was she was supposed to be luring him without luring
Yeah.
him. But the delivery in the trailer is very casual and, you know.
Yeah. Explaining it as opposed to enticing with it.
Yes. Yeah. It was just a little too cash.
You're great when you get a big case.
How about the rest of the time?
You know what
Oh
I mean.
god. I remember the part when he falls slack and like between her legs right here. I guess that's supposed to be the point of orgasm. That shot was not in the R version.
Yeah. Are you up to the next scene yet?
No.
Okay. Now I felt bad saying this, but because Julianne is quite light-skinned, when she was all sweaty, it actually looked sickly to me, like as if she's got a fever or something.
Oh.
A lot of famous faces in this movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal. They didn't have normal sex.
That's why they all had to film in
Apparently.
Portland.
I wasn't peeping through the keyhole.
Apparently, according to IMDb trivia, Ann Archer was trying to take credit for the body
Yes,
double.
but
who
it
did her
turned out it
nude
was somebody else.
scene. Well, I mean, if you look at the movie, it's pretty obvious that it wasn't
Yeah.
her. because of the way it's edited.
Do you have personal knowledge that she used drugs?
It's like Dress to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
I personally saw her shovel the stuff up her nose. Was that good enough?
In front of a secretary.
I was at the
Ooh.
house one morning. I thought she was still upstairs.
Opening the gate parade.
Oh, okay.
One of those
Mhm.
files.
What did she say when she saw you?
She was too busy to notice.
And did you tell your boss what you
She's so happy with herself in this scene.
Why not?
I wanted to keep my job.
I mean, I thought she was going to play the Ginny Triplehorn character to Madonna's Sharon Stone, but no, not at all. It was she was a nothing.
Rebecca!
Well, she was having an affair with Andrew Marsh, too. So
You fucking lied to me. You lied on tape. You were asking.
I don't really think they
Cocaine.
went into detail enough about
Who?
her art
Yeah, I
gallery.
was about to say.
Cocaine in Marsh's house.
Joanne.
Because it was when she was saying it at the trial, she's like, oh,
Would have been in the house.
does she own an art gallery?
Smoking gun.
Frank, she was in love with.
Well, and plus she says it weird.
Yeah.
Must have been a pretty goddamn
Um,
lovable guy.
She says, "I own a gallery."
Besides, I haven't touched coke since I was 7.
And when I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "What? What?" Instead of as opposed to "I own a gallery," or they should have said "I own," or made her say "I own an art gallery."
Oh,
But they really don't go into specifics as far as how she makes a living.
I feel the term is more "I run a gallery." If she were to have said that, I think that would have rung better for the ears.
You mean it would have given her more of a motive to want the money because it's
No,
not
no,
actually
like
hers?
I just feel owning an art gallery isn't something that someone says.
Then what do they?
They run the art gallery, as in they,
Well,
procure.
running an art gallery sounds like
She's
you're
employed by someone,
manager
yeah.
of it.
Kidding.
Well, I was thinking Charlotte. She runs an art gallery.
Okay, must we?
What the hell is it?
Chinese peony root.
This guy, the guy running the store, kind of looks like a
What's it
John
used for?
Waters, only a
Ah, yeah.
slightly healthier
Yeah.
John Waters.
She suffers from dysmenorrhea.
Cramps.
Oh my god. So you have to take it nasally.
Thank you. Supposed to be on
Well,
my
it's an
side.
herb. I don't know.
Well, then she licks
You've
it.
at least given me the benefit of the doubt.
You're right.
Well, what the fuck was she supposed to do? Toss it aside?
Toss it over her shoulder. No, but like Anne Archer was saying, she saw it like
Ground.
sniffing it. I thought was shoveling it. I don't know.
She does. That is the way she takes it, but she just that was purely to show him what it was.
Oh god.
What do they call that again?
Acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Have you ever had that done?
No.
No, I've had it done. It's not painful at all. It didn't really help.
I wouldn't assume. I would assume it wouldn't.
I've had
because,
dry
you know,
needling, which is a similar procedure, but more Western, and that helped.
Yes, I'm more of a believer in Western medicine as opposed to natural, homeopathic type remedies for things.
Oh, I'm happy to. I'm sure if I kept it up, it might have helped, but I'm happy to indulge in Eastern medicines.
I think you really have to have a lot of faith in it to work. I think you have to delude yourself into believing this. Yeah, this is working. This is helping. Because if you have something like cancer,
Is it still raining?
you don't go to an herbalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's what they call it, not alternative, or complementary medicine or something.
Sure. I'll give you a ride.
No, it's alternative medicine. But, see, and it's also very controversial because there have been parents who've had kids with cancer and they didn't believe in Western medicine, and they either believed in Eastern medicine, alternative medicine, or prayer,
Yes.
and their children have died
Yeah.
because of it.
Well, isn't Val Kilmer
That's a bad idea.
a non-medicine person?
I'm your lawyer. It doesn't look good.
I don't
I
know.
think he's
Nobody's looking.
part of a weird Christianity called Christ Scientist or something like that.
Oh, there's Scientology.
No, it's not
doesn't
Scientology. It's
believe in-
Christian Science.
Well, Scientologists or Scientology does not believe in Western medicine. They believe in vitamins.
Yes.
That's all.
We're gonna kick their
or,
ass.
or screaming during labor.
Mm.
Why
Now,
did they shoot in Portland? Do you know? Or was it just...
No,
yeah.
I don't.
Can't change the titillating nature of this trial. But if I had wanted to work for the service, I would.
There is a bit on
So I will
the
not
IMDb
cover
trivia
any
about
performances by counsel
Willem Dafoe
or
going
by
to trials to do research for the role, and him like stopping at court proceedings because people recognized him.
Yes.
Well, it just so happens that around the same time, well, I don't know if it was specifically for Serial Mom, but John Waters was going to trials at the same time. He goes to trials anyway for
Yeah.
fun.
The ruthless,
Um,
woman who went after
but
an elderly man with a
he
bad
bumped into Willem Dafoe at one of the trials,
Yeah.
and I think they sat together and
Oh,
talked,
nice.
and because he knew that
You will see she's not
Willem
only
was doing this for
she is
A movie.
a movie that he was making with Madonna. He told
If I
John
hit
that.
you and you die.
For legal studies, we went to a few court cases, and they're a lot more boring than you imagine.
Yes.
I would assume, yeah, because you go to these kinds of things, or if you get jury duty or something like that, you think, ooh, I'm making a murder trial or something, and it's usually like a slip and fall or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
And I don't know if it's different in America, but in Australia, the lawyers do not move. They deliver from a stand. You know, there's there's none of this wandering in front of
The
jurors.
theatrics.
Yes,
Yeah, no, they do. That's a
it
thing.
is okay.
Because it's to be an attorney is an art form, and you have to put on a performance because not only are you trying to win over the judge, you're also trying to win over the jury, and you have to be convincing in your
Delivering.
statement.
Oh no, we still have
And you're
passioned
delivering.
closing and openers, but they just do it from a stand. They don't do the dancing.
Mr. Delaney.
It's more like when if
I don't know.
I can imagine, you know, when I've seen C-SPAN where people make deliveries to Congress, you know, and they're just standing at a podium. It's that type of delivery.
You may be disgusted by what you hear,
Hmm.
but I want you to remember that Rebecca Carlson.
That was on the Serial Mom commentary that John Waters had mentioned, I think, about seeing Willem Dafoe. But he also said that one thing that always bothered him, and I never really noticed this until he pointed it out, but it's kind of true. Whenever you see a court case in a movie, 9 times out of 10, the judge will be a black woman. And he has his suspicions that the filmmakers are trying to make up for racism and
Lack of minorities. Yeah,
gender, well, gender inequality. So it's like we're putting a band-aid on it by making the judge a black woman.
Yeah.
So for Serial Mom, he said he specifically wanted a white man.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where you have reality and film reality.
A bottle of nasal spray found next to the bed was filled with a
I remember when
had a head cold at the time of his death.
there was a controversy about Apu in The Simpsons
Objection, lack of foundation.
running
The
a
witness is
convenience store,
speculating.
and a lot of people saying that they need to show Indian representation a lot better.
Disregard the witness's comment.
Whereas I think in reality,
Was this spray you found?
90% of the Indians that I've dealt with have all been bus drivers, coming from a bus driver industry. Yet if I were to put that down in a film, I'd be
Dr. McCurdy,
considered
what would
racist
cocaine
because
do
of
to
that.
someone in Mr. Marsh's condition? It would accelerate his heartbeat. And if you were having sex while under
This
the
actor here, I don't know his name, but I remember he played
You for a fool.
Brett Butler's boss in
No,
Grace
said
Under
the
Fire.
autopsy
Oh,
report
okay.
that Mr. Marsh was restrained.
When she worked for like a plant, a power plant or
Yeah.
something.
Explain that.
It was weird that she developed a drug habit, or she became addicted to something.
At the time of his death.
Yeah, she was opiates.
Bruising and the friction is quite extensive.
I got the box set of the whole series, and you can really see in the last season what a fucking nosedive that show took.
Yeah, yeah.
Heart attack while he was restrained.
Wow.
Like Roseanne.
And your evidence for this is the marks on his wrist, am I right?
You are correct.
And plus, they lost Nadine, the actress who played Nadine,
Okay.
because she couldn't take it anymore. Because working with Brett Butler was she was so out of control. And did you hear that thing about the kid who played the son? Why he left?
I never got to watch the show, but I just know about it.
Just on his
But
Oh.
why did he leave?
Where they wouldn't show in public.
objection. Counsel's
Well, she had just got new boobs, and she was very proud of them, so she was going around flashing them to everyone, including the little boy.
That Mr. Marsh did
So,
decide to get high.
yeah, he goes from being like 10, 11, and then on season 5 he's like 16.
Yeah.
Dr. McCurdy, are you a
Yeah,
licensed
that's
psychiatrist?
inappropriate.
objection. Argumentative.
Hmm.
Sustained.
How did you reach your conclusion about what Mr. Marsh would or
Um,
wouldn't do?
Common sense.
No, I forgot what I was going to say about the movie.
It was interesting. Someone commented in the reviews how
You know for a fact that Mr.
all of
Marsh
their
had
objections
common
are
sense.
sustained.
He just testified
So I
he
just
liked
noticed that.
unpleasant things.
Your Honor.
No further questions.
It's going to be a long
Speaking of
to start working
black
on.
female judges, Janine Garofalo has a bit about that in one of her stand-up
Memorial Hospital.
acts, and she
Were you on
says
duty the night of February 5th?
she's quite fond of black
I was the admitting
judges
Did you
who
admit
say
to
things
Mr.
like,
Marsh?
"Well, I'll allow it, but it better be good."
Yes, I have heard her say that. Yes.
Mr. Marsh discussed the
Sassy, but respects the law.
Yes, he did.
Don't waste my time, counselor.
Came to be accurate. And according to my notes, the patient told me that it was the first time he tried cocaine. It was
Cocaine.
going to be the last.
I did hate the ending. It seemed to really come out of nothing.
Hyperpyrexia, which is a
Mm.
associated with cocaine intoxication.
I like the ending because I really like how she snaps into full bitch mode.
Oh, well, you
And
like
I,
that.
I think that's my
My heart is
that's
breaking.
my favorite.
Common to have so many symptoms occur in the cases of
That's my favorite.
This patient was particularly sensitive.
That's my favorite
Retort.
of her performance. Although she doesn't say my heart is breaking.
No, what did she say?
Ever tried cocaine again, you would be committing suicide.
I've forgotten you already.
Yes, that's the one. Sorry. Yes.
No questions from this.
And did you see Mr. Marsh?
What was that? My heart is
Don't look
breaking.
so hurt, Alan.
How did he look?
My heart is broken. It's from Made to Order.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
And what
God, Anne Scott rocking a mullet.
Beverly D'Angelo says, "You're on your own," and Ali Sheedy says, "My heart is broken."
Kept it up. She was going to kill him. That his heart couldn't take it.
For a while, I had one of my my Yahoo, when I used to have a Yahoo account, it used to be Body of Evidence with a number, and I had a still of Madonna in the movie
Yes.
as my profile picture. And remember on the Yahoo profiles, you had a quote.
Then did he also mention
You were able to
No,
put a
but
quote in there.
I'll take you on your word.
Chicago?
well, you could put a quote, and my quote was from the movie.
Yeah.
And it was, I fucked you, I fucked Andrew, I fucked Frank. That's what I do. I fuck. And it made me $8 million.
So it wasn't. Have you ever seen animals making love?
And I do see worms crawling all around you, Mr. Garrett.
No.
You can't have it both ways. Objection overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Presley.
I suppose it's possible.
This was before Fatal Attraction, wasn't it? No.
No. Fatal Attraction was 87.
Oh wait. When? Oh, this was 90. Oh, sorry. I'm getting years mixed up.
Were you ever a patient at the Mount Hood Substance Abuse Center?
Ooh, burn.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Braslow's medical history is...
Your Honor, the prosecution has introduced cocaine.
I remember watching this with someone, I would say, who had above average intelligence. Because he was able to call everything that the judge was going to say right before she said it.
Yeah.
Because he knew what the attorneys were doing was, not sustainable.
Yeah.
Was that substance cocaine?
He knew what was kosher.
I was very impressed.
And didn't you supply your boss, Mr. Marsh, with the cocaine that sent him to the hospital with cocaine poisoning this year? Your Honor, I have in my hand a copy of the admissions report. The square right here.
So being that this was your first viewing of the movie, what are some of your other thoughts?
My thoughts. I did write a review. I wasn't as glowing as you were.
I wrote a review? What did I say?
No, you didn't. I don't think you've written it, but I have heard you talk favorably towards it.
Oh, yes, I have. This is one of my favorite Madonna movies.
I don't think she is the worst part of it. My criticism is that I found it quite a boring movie. I didn't find it very thrilling, should I say, sorry. Watchable, but not... I didn't find much suspense in it. Oh, you forgot my birthday.
Did you always want to be a lawyer?
I like this scene here because it kind of harkens back to... Because it harkens back to her childhood and how she associated pleasure and pain with stealing strawberries.
When I was a kid, I liked to steal strawberries. I'd sneak into the neighbor's yard at the end of the street. And I remember they had a big fence. And I'd always wait.
I was looking at Letterboxd reviews.
And then on the other side, they had these wild
And it was kind of annoying because even those who liked the movie, every fucking review mentioned the candle wax scene.
Well, yeah, the ones that gave it 5 tended to either be sex fiends.
They liked it because it was sexually stimulating.
Or they were being ironic, as in they were like, oh, I love how bad this movie is, which I...
Yeah, they liked it like people like Showgirls.
Yeah, which I didn't find. I didn't put it in that vein of... I don't find it a bad movie.
No, I don't either. I mean, I think Showgirls is a bad movie.
Yeah,
and
but I love it.
But I think this is a good movie. I think it's well done and like I said, all of the supporting actors do very well.
Like, I found it fine, and by that I mean I didn't find it. I found it harmless. It is something that you didn't need to take offense to and be like, "Oh, this is a 0-star movie. How dare they?" This was a fine. I think it should have been a good stepping stone for Madonna to make better movies. I don't find her bad in this movie. I think it was more indicative of maybe a social prudishness that was going on at the time.
You're not going to tell
than
me.
anything else. And also,
Well,
just I think that when a woman is confident with their sexuality, they do get a bit of flack for it.
yes, I don't think really Sharon Stone got much acclaim for Basic Instinct, and I thought she did well in that.
Yeah.
But as is the case with Madonna, especially around this time, whenever it was announced that she had a new movie out, critics had their fucking claws sharpened before they even saw it. So it was pretty much guaranteed that she was going to get a bad review, whether or not she did a good job. She even got bad reviews for Evita.
Yeah.
Not by everybody, but by some. She did.
They were the ones who wanted to force her to fail.
They want to it not to like it. Yes.
It's real.
Evita is not really
stay in your lane, people.
Yeah. Well, Evita is really not my kind of movie, but I can definitely recognize that she did exceptionally well in it, and it's I think it's her best. It's not my favorite of her movies, but it's her best cinematic performance.
Yeah. And I read her unofficial biography, Goddess, and the author was saying that she enjoyed the experience. Like, she was a bit nervous, but once she saw how it was going to get filmed, she was quite confident with it, because it was almost similar to film clip making, where they, record beforehand and then lip sync it.
Yeah. We have a dog barking.
These birdhouses.
I think he's stimulating what? Birdhouse?
Boathouse. Oh, whatever they got. What she lives in.
House.
Yes, oh my god. I've got dyslexia. Verbal dyslexia.
I would assume that living in a house like that would be very cold.
Yeah. Now you got me thinking
It's a
of
beautiful
Carrie
house,
Fisher's
though.
houseboat in the Drop dead.
No,
friend.
it's not a
Yes.
houseboat. Remember, it's a river condominium.
That's right. That had quite a rude scene in that movie for a children's film.
Which
Or
one?
Carrie had a sex, not sex scene, but she was with a man.
She was having an affair with
That's right. Yes.
the man she works with.
While his wife's out of town.
The one shtup I get a month when Murray's wife is out of town. I like when she goes to the chair Fred's sitting in.
Like, she talks to his penis.
She's talking to his crotch. Yeah. Hello, sweetheart. What a cute little thing you are.
Here's Madonna doing her Michael Myers impersonation.
Mm-hmm. Is this the candle wax scene already?
No, it comes out of the shadows here.
No, I mean, but is this a sex scene with the candle wax?
It could be.
I didn't think it was just that early in the movie.
Yeah, I feel like it is, because they start running and fucking up the stairs, and then she puts his belt in her arms.
Oh, yeah. In the... this scene does go on a little too long. But again, this is pretty much why everybody watches the movie.
This was the reason for the movie.
This was the reason for the movie. This was the money
This is what you
shot.
came for. When I say came.
Yes. And she, again, this is a scene here where the character knows very much what she's doing because she's playing with
Yeah.
him. She's luring him more. Yes.
With her titties.
With her titties.
God.
With her feminine wiles.
How he keeps ripping off her dress is like... Is that like gigolo pants or something?
They were breakaway. Now, if you could, well, not that Willem Dafoe is a bad actor, but I think it's pretty much unanimous he's not an attractive man.
I don't think
which
it's
I think
hideous.
kind of hurts the movie. Oh God, he's a fucking ghoul. If you could recast the movie with a more attractive actor of this time, who would you pick?
Well, not Michael Douglas.
No.
Because I don't think that he's as attractive as his stalkery characters make him out to be.
No.
So, early 90s. Who would you choose?
All I keep coming back to is Bruce Willis.
Okay.
Although I don't really think he would have been very good in the role.
Well,
I always thought he had a sexiness about him,
did you ever watch
especially
Colour
around
of
this
Night?
time. No,
I think you got to see a bit of his penis there.
you do, and I didn't know about that until years later.
A bit underwater. Yeah, I'll have to... Let me think about that.
Yeah, you do.
So I can watch the sex scene happening.
Mm-hmm.
Although, apparently, in the original script, she wasn't going to pour it onto his penis. But she said...
The third time. Well, I think that... that was probably a case of... Because you know how Madonna always has been in her career, in that if you tell her not to do something, she's going to do it. So the director was probably insistent, no, Rebecca does not pour the wax 3 times. And she's like, okay. And then when they got to filming, she probably just did it.
She forgot all about it. Oh, that's right. I was supposed to blow it out before I poured.
Knowing her, I would say that's probably what happened. Or knowing her as an entertainer, rather. And her track record.
I really don't know. I was thinking, but I don't think it would have worked either. You know, Two Moon Junction?
No.
It's a Cheryl and Fenn movie. It's not an erotic thriller. It's just an erotic movie. But the male counterpart was the villain from Kindergarten Cop.
I haven't seen that since I was very young.
But he's got quite a nice body that I didn't realise until Two Moon Junction.
And what is his
I
name?
have no idea. I have no idea. But he had long hair and like it would be in a ponytail in Kindergarten Cop.
Oh no, that's not a good look.
No, but in Two Moon Junction,
That's Steven Seagal douche
not
fuck
like
look.
that,
no.
In Two Moon Junction, it was more surfer looking, but
That's not a good look either.
yeah, it looked fine.
No.
Have you had candle wax poured on you? It's a
No.
lot more painful than what Willem's, like, especially if it's on the genitals.
You think this is what inspired Valentine?
Yes, I was thinking that actually as it was happening. What are you waiting for? Wax it.
Yes, and Denise Richards got to be Rebecca Carlson. Maybe Tom Hanks in the Willem Dafoe role.
I don't know about that.
I'm kidding.
Although,
no, I don't want to see Tom Hanks in a sex scene.
I mean, if I had to think sort of outside of, I wouldn't mind maybe like a Denzel Washington. I think
Maybe.
he could have worked.
I don't think he would have touched this movie with a 10-foot pole.
With his 10-foot pole.
Settle.
I mean,
all this moaning, I remember, was cut
yeah.
in the R-rated version.
I think she was probably playing it too real, which made it. There's a difference between real sex and cinema sex. And I think she should have taken a bit more note of direction.
Well, she's convincing. That was not her. I don't know who the fuck that was or why that was
after the fact.
added. Yeah,
And she was,
I
like,
think they
prompting.
needed a. I think they needed a sound that would be a good segue into another scene, into the next scene.
See, I thought maybe it was Julianne because he was waking up next to her.
No, I don't think he had sex with her after the fact. I like the way he plays this role here because it's like he's waking up to his normal day-to-day life and he has this look on his face like, what did I just do last night?
It's like all the the wax marks.
No, I'm talking about he's considering, his betrayal. What he just did to his wife,
Yeah.
and he probably ruined his
No, but it
family.
was reminded of it because he saw the wax marks. The
Yes, yes.
the wax burns.
The people would like to recall Dr.
Max
Ellen
Burn.
Paley to the stand.
He's got a bung eye. I can't stop noticing.
Mm-hmm. Again, not a very strong actor and more of a B-movie actor, but I think attractive. I wouldn't mind Andrew Stevens
Rebecca Carlson.
Is this Andrew Stevens?
as the Willem
Oh.
Dafoe.
Did you, in fact,
Who's Andrew Stevens?
It's Andrew Marsh.
Yes.
Andrew Stevens is from, I don't know. He's an. I can't
Yeah.
go into it right now. I have things to do.
Is she going through the change?
did you ever discuss...
She
Like-
might be, but she has no
No.
patience.
It's going around the room.
His picture was on the social page. I mentioned that
She gets a little sassy with Madonna too when she takes the stand.
Well-
Do you think you're capable of answering just the questions put to
Well,
you?
because the judge is the star of the cult room. She's like, no, no, no.
And what did you
Well, that's what Judge Judy always
Yes.
says. There's only one star here, and I've already got
Your
the
witness?
job.
Dr. Paley, why didn't you mention your relationship with Rebecca earlier?
Nobody asked me.
Did you have sexual relations with her?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Sexual
Your Honor, if you allow me
relations.
some latitude, I can establish the relevance.
You better. Objection overruled. The witness is directed
This
to
better be
answer the
good.
question.
No, you did not.
Well, I'll allow it, but it better be good.
I did like the judge from A Few Good Men. He had some sass to him for an army judge.
Get up here, both of you, right now.
Who is that?
I don't know the actor's name.
For God's sake. Who else was in that besides Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise?
Demi Moore and Jace
Male actors.
Pollock.
Jason who? Who?
Jason Pollock.
Who's the
Oh
hell
no,
Jason
no.
Pollock?
Sorry.
You remember your last
Who did you say, Jason?
at the cat?
There's quite a few. There's like Kevin Bacon and Noah Weil, I reckon, is in it.
Noah Wiley.
Yeah.
Trying to force yourself on her in the
He,
parking lot. Objection! Because
he would have been too young. Kevin Bacon I never found remotely attractive at all.
Kiefer Sutherland is in it.
Not that I... Yeah, maybe. I don't find him attractive either. But, I mean...
I think his dad is better looking.
In fact, didn't
When he was younger.
her into seeing you again by threatening to falsely testify against her? Your Honor,
It's got the Madonna gap.
Usually, too, in this day and age especially, if an actor signs on to do a movie like this, where there's a lot of sexually explicit scenes, they'll spend months getting into shape.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
I don't think he had a bad body.
He didn't do a fucking thing. Oh, God. He just kept on chain smoking 3 packs a day and showed up to set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look good. I'm fine.
Well, he played Christ, so it was running on that.
Rebecca? I can put you away, Rebecca, for the rest of your
Yes,
life.
this entire commentary is going to be Willem Dafoe is unattractive.
Okay.
That's what it's going to be.
It's going to be a hot or not. See, he kind of reminds me a bit of the guy
Dr. Paley.
in this scene here, of who played the current It,
Yes, I did. She asked
but
me
not
Oh.
as attractive. A bit more weathered in the face. Skarsgård. or, Skarsgård.
Yeah. I think he's Sarsgaard,
Yeah.
I didn't break 'em all the way.
isn't he? And the other one is Skarsgård from True Blood.
No, I thought they were related.
No, I think one is Skarsgård and one is Sarsgaard.
No, you might be thinking of Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband, Peter Skarsgård.
I don't know. Maybe I am.
Speaking of getting people Skarsgård,
This is filthy.
God, she's got such a a young face in this movie. It's quite babyish, I reckon.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Well, she's not old at this time. Oh my God, she's younger than me here.
How old was she here?
When they filmed, probably 34.
Yeah.
Could somebody hit B4, please?
Yeah, 34.
Thank you.
Or no, she might have been 33. About to turn 34. It was a busy year because she had the sex book. She recorded erotica too, and she did this. A League of Their Own, I think, was 91 when she filmed it.
Yeah. What did she do after this? Well, nothing much.
Well, she did the Girly Show.
Oh, yep.
But that was toward the end of 93. And how could you forget that? Because that was the one that aired on HBO was in
the
Sydney.
Down Under.
Yes. And that was the last time she was in Australia until, I think...
Rebel Heart, I reckon.
Rebel Heart, yeah.
People were a bit annoyed because for one of the concerts, she only went on stage at 11 p.m. and so, kept them waiting.
I've seen her 4 times.
Yeah.
I've seen her 4 times, and every time I've seen her, she was about an hour late.
Yeah, they say she's notoriously unpunctual.
Well, you don't expect anybody to be on stage at the time it says on the ticket.
Well,
and it has a lot of the time too. It really doesn't have anything to do with the performer. It has a lot to do with everybody still filing in.
yeah.
Because they don't want to turn the lights down and have the show start if people really aren't in their seats yet. It could have something to do with sound engineering, the band. It's not just the performer who is the center of the show. Or they may be the center of the show, but it's not. Everything's not reliant on them.
What was the trivia about this thing? I did read it, but I forgot
that there weren't any doubles, and he was really all up in that puss.
Yes. See, this movie, it reminded me more of Jade than of Basic Instinct. And I realised Jade came after this. But,
oh my god, she was riding his face. Madonna was like, okay, we're going to do this scene here, and you're going to eat my puss, and you're going to like it. Yeah, that's right.
Courtroom pussy.
You see my bush? Yeah. You're going to eat it, and you're going to like it. This is pop icon puss.
She's got a pearl necklace on. An actual pearl necklace. I'm not talking about Willem's.
Yeah, and then she got another one. Yeah.
Investigators didn't contact Mr. Ralston until yesterday afternoon in New York.
What took so long?
He just came home from an extended vacation.
All right, I'm going to allow the testimony.
She'll allow it, but it better be good.
Don't they need to be on the ticket? As in, the defense need to be told about the witnesses.
Mr. Ralston.
Yes.
What was your relationship with
They're
Mr.
supposed to be.
We were lovers.
There's Frank Langella.
Were you together?
I haven't...
Very, very good actor.
And because I've only seen him older, it's quite a front to see him this young.
Very intense. I know this is very personal, but I'm going to ask you to be more specific.
Actually, this reminded me a little bit of a Shannon Tweed movie that I watched, that I used to...
I'm sure this movie inspired many a Shannon Tweed movie.
Where some gentleman was to death.
What condition is that?
I had a bad heart.
What was that? One of the body chemistry movies?
No, I forget the name of it. But they had a guy...
I had bypass surgery.
And how are you now?
Yeah, I won't remember it now.
My doctor says I can live to be a good...
Because there was one she was in called Illicit Dreams that was not as sexual, but I didn't mind. It was about these two,
After the surgery.
a man and a woman who start dreaming of each other, and then he sort of saves her from some terrible relationship.
Why do you think she...
That doesn't sound like a Shannon Tweed movie at all.
Question calls for a conclusion on the part of the witness.
Objection sustained.
When you say your sexual relations with Miss Carlson were intense, in what way?
No,
Well,
it wasn't.
it was as if she were...
It was something like indecent behavior, but
Can you give the court an example?
Sex was a game to her. She got off under control.
Well, I think Madonna still gets off on being in control. Okay.
she's like, "No, I'll be starting my concert at 11."
Yeah, that's right. And if you don't like it, go the fuck home.
Those booze give her life.
Sydney.
No, this was Brisbane. I think she
Well,
was a bit earlier in Sydney.
This she also was on very late, like really late for Madam X. Like she didn't come on until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
certain
I did
shows.
read that as well. But in saying that, I think I would rather see if it was Madonna, I'd rather see her preparing to be the best as opposed to coming on early if she's not stretched well enough or something where. Because she had some acrobatics doing Madam X itself when they did the Human Nature.
No, that's why she got hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you remember she got hurt? She had to cancel some
I
shows?
thought she got COVID. That's why they cancelled it.
No. Well, she canceled some shows because she got hurt, and then COVID happened and the rest of the tour got canceled.
And a lot of... okay, yeah. I know a lot of the people on the tour caught COVID. Maybe she didn't, or did she?
No, I don't think she did.
You up, Mr. Roston. What did she do next?
She started masturbating and telling me how
You are such a child sometimes, you know this?
No, but it's sort of like he's all traumatized by her being sexual. It's like, oh my god.
Did you hurt her, Bobby?
Then he started stroking himself and kissing me. And sucking my nipples. I couldn't stop him.
and she was on top.
Are you finished?
Well, I am now. Let me just clean up.
She'd stop.
This is a serious matter.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't breathe. It was suffocating. She's a victor. I really thought...
See, she should have just sat on his face.
Did you change your will while you were involved with Miss Carlson?
Yes.
And who was the primary beneficiary?
She was.
I know we're jumping ahead here, but I think what really surprised me about this movie, and I think is one of the low points of her performance, is toward the end with the fight sequence. She's not good doing stunts.
Yep.
Like and you would think that she would be, being that she's a trained dancer, but like things like when she jumps up on the pool table, it looks very mechanical.
Yeah.
And right before she goes out the window, she turns her head to look.
Yeah, where she
like
is,
where
yeah.
she's supposed to go, because she was too far away from the window.
Well, it could be that the change was quite sudden and they didn't have a lot of time to rehearse it or something.
Maybe. Well, it was. I think they rewrote it like 2 weeks before
I don't want to have anything to do
it was actually shot.
I mean,
so.
again, based on the book that I'd read about it, apparently she is quite a studious actress. She does like to be very prepared for things. It just doesn't always...
Well, she does that with everything. She does that with everything. She does not half-ass anything.
Fuck you too.
No, Madonna is not someone who phones anything in. Oh, I remember much like Showgirls, this was a VH1 movie, or they play it on VH1.
I mean, you could have used the time to screw your clients.
I don't remember much about it, about the edited for TV version, because of course I watched it. But the only thing I remember is in this scene in particular,
Julianne's dark lip
when when they're in the alley and he says, "I don't want to lose you," and she says that you shouldn't have fucked her. They have somebody who's clearly not Julianne Moore dub her voice, and she says that you shouldn't have touched her.
At least they didn't just get rid of the word, because that's something they used to do here. Is they just at least you shouldn't have her,
Yeah.
which was stupid.
I don't
for
know.
Pulp
I kind of
Fiction, because when they showed that, it was like a silent movie.
Well, you
What are they?
yeah, I would assume.
What are they? Bites?
Sorry, what were you going to say?
What happened to your back?
I don't remember.
Well, we were talking about her being dubbed by.
Oh, I was going to say, I think, well, with a movie like Pulp Fiction, yeah, that wouldn't work. But I think I would prefer that editing because when you loop it with somebody who's clearly not the actor, it's really bad. And I think that this was a movie that was made without ever having any intentions of being shown on
telly,
commercial television. So there wasn't any alternative scenes that they could have used.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't have fucked her.
It's hard because she says that straight to the camera. It's like
I like this scene too. I just love her being a bitch.
Yeah. She certainly doesn't half-ass that.
What the hell did you say to my wife?
No.
Nothing. I asked if you were there and you weren't.
Why'd you call?
I wanted to know if I still had a lawyer.
You're such a liar.
What do you think? I called to tell her all the nasty details?
Maybe I gave her some advice.
Or maybe I called to reassure her that it was over between us. Maybe that's what I said.
That was not a good fall.
No.
See, this is what I mean. She can't do stunts
Yeah,
well.
she doesn't want to hurt herself.
Yeah, I would say that's probably, especially since she did so much nudity. She didn't want to be bruised.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh. She has a dribble of saliva that goes onto the finger. No, it makes me think of when I was in San Francisco. I went to a concert that was just at an independent place where they it was in they were doing covers of a Bjork album called Hypergenic, I think. But in one of the songs on the album, Bjork screams in it, and like it's quite an aggressive song. And when the singer at the concert was doing it, it wasn't as aggressive. And it's to me it was because I could feel she was protecting her voice. And I kind of feel the same way about Madonna's stunts, is that it's not going as far to protect herself.
One thing that I really don't like about this part is it's clearly dubbed in when he cuffs her and you hear her go, "You fuck."
Yeah.
That was bad. But there's also a moment where she kind of screams, or she does a very aggressive "ah." That's not in the R-rated version, and I think that they took that out because they didn't want to show that he was sodomizing her.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's clearly what he's doing.
Yeah.
And butt sex in an R-rated movie is a no. We can't have that. And I'm pretty positive, too, that in this version, the camera lingers on her face when she's smiling.
Yeah.
A little bit longer.
So what's she even tied to? Just a
I
pole.
don't know what that pole is.
Because when I first saw it, I thought it was the bed, but I was like, But beds would move.
That was the moan right there. That moan that you just said.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been like a fucking. I have no idea.
Oh, that. You fuck. That didn't sound very.
No, it sounded very unnatural, and it also sounded very ADR. Well, I've never. I'm gonna stop myself. Sometimes I tend to overshare.
You never smile during sodomy? Now you're gonna just make me guess.
No, I have not.
Yeah. Okay.
Why does he have such an entourage? He's just a defense lawyer.
Now, this guy was really into the court machine.
Oh, God.
I'm sure she paid.
Ah, yes.
For.
Yes.
How does this help us?
Hey, just watch. Now, I would have missed this too. But the
I don't remember if that shot of her riding him reverse was in the R-rated version, but I think it was not.
Yeah.
Because I know that in the home videos that were shot, some of them were different.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, there's one where she's riding in, she's facing him, and she's riding him. She's riding him pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
That was not in the R-rated version.
We had a professional relationship.
She looks a bit like Ted Danson's wife.
Oh, Mary
Yeah.
Steenburgen? Yeah, I can see that a little bit. Hear that door slam.
I'll never get over her mullet style. It's weird when you have like a transitional period where you've still got 80s styling but trying to develop its 90s footing.
Yeah.
So Madonna's the 90s and Anne is the 80s.
Well, of course Madonna's ahead of everybody, okay?
For all your years of service, it doesn't seem like a lot.
She's a fashion icon, don't you know this?
No?
Beauty's where you find it.
He cut you out of
Mhm.
his will, he dumped you for a younger woman, and you still
making
find
it
kind
sound
things
like-
to say about the man.
Objection. Counsel's arguing with the witness. Move to strike, Your Honor.
I was very disappointed with the Shout Factory Blu-ray of this because all they did was include the trailer and the 5-minute featurette that was on the MGM DVD.
Yeah.
Weren't you lovers?
I need to
Do I have to enter into
invest in
videotape?
someone doing what we're doing, basically, but like on a more professional.
Well, they did that. They did that with Shanghai Surprise. They did a fan
okay.
commentary. Although I didn't like it.
I mean, does Shanghai Surprise have many fans?
No, because it's
Yeah,
terrible.
that's all.
Even I don't like it. Well,
Shanghai Surprise, it's crap.
It was cruel of him to confide about Rebecca.
and I was familiar with it was 3 gay guys.
Yeah.
And
I'll withdraw the
one of them
Were you hurt?
is a Madonna impersonator
Oh, okay.
who goes by Mediva. And he recreates, like, fanatically all of her tour
You expected him to come back
costumes.
to you after this,
The other is, his name is Jason Seacrest, and he's like kind of,
Didn't he
I don't know if he's I think so. I think he still is. But he's like kind of the go-to guy if you want to be successful in gay porn.
Okay.
Counsel's putting the witness on.
I don't know if he's a manager or an agent or what, and he also has been in some non-sexual roles in some gay porn movies.
Yeah.
And
That's enough.
the other one
Objection sustained and strike Mr.
was when Madonna was on TRL to promote the soundtrack for The Next Best Thing. They had questions from the audience, and he asked her if she was going to go on tour again, because this was right before the Drown World tour,
Yeah.
and right before music was released.
Yep.
And he said that he had seen her in the Girly Show, and he'd been waiting for her to go on tour again, because at that point she hadn't been on tour in 6 years.
Yes.
7 years.
Oh, was that the end of it? Sorry.
Yes, but what I was going to say was, I don't remember exactly how they got the job, or the, yeah, but they basically sat there the whole time making fun of the movie and making fun of her acting. So I didn't really see the point of it. And then they also had
it was almost like a gay mystery science theater.
Yeah, pretty much. And one of them said, I remember this, one of them said that he thinks that one of the main reasons why her acting is questionable is because she blinks constantly.
Okay.
I never noticed that before. But also on the disc, they had like I forget what the featurettes were called, but they were basically like talking heads, like comedians. It was kind of like an I Love the 80s or 90s thing like VH1 would do.
Top 10.
Where it was just like people making fun of the movie and making fun of her. So I really didn't see the point.
Yeah, it seems a bit vicious.
Yeah, it was, I mean, like...
Or at the very least, they could have had a
not a good-
counter-argument. Like someone who actually liked it.
Well, you can't really...
Sorry.
You can't really...
I tried saying that with a straight face.
You're gonna convict me if I don't tell my side
Yeah,
of the
that's
story.
really not a good movie. Although, it's... She got all the blame for it, which I thought was unfair. It was not, it was, as a whole, it was not a good movie. It was not a good script. It was not well directed. The music in it was terrible. It was just not good. But of course, Madonna's ruined this whole movie.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a masterpiece.
With somebody else.
With somebody else. No, there was no hope for that movie.
What was on the Next Best Thing soundtrack? She did American Life for it, didn't she?
American Pie.
Yeah.
And a song called Time Stood Still.
Oh, okay.
That she did for the movie with William Orbit. I know Christina Aguilera has a song on there.
I was thinking I need to watch it when I after this. There's a song from an Aussie rock band called Do It With Madonna, where the chorus is I'd rather do it, but like during the verses they're talking about these other pop stars who are around but not as good.
She had it coming,
Yes.
I will say.
The defense calls Rebecca Carlson to the
I like well, I don't know how true it is, but I like that it said on IMDb that she was so method that she didn't want to talk to, or she refused to talk to Julianne Moore until that moment.
Yeah. And Julianne didn't even go near her face just out of being scared to touch her.
Well, I would have been terrified to go near her face too. So I don't know. I remember, from what I remember, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
The slap.
Apparently, she didn't know a lot of people's names on, like the actors' names on Will and Grace when she guest appeared on it. But in saying that,
Well, she had never seen it.
well, and she was only acting with Karen throughout it. I don't think she.
No, see you guys got the cut version.
Oh, okay.
And I know this specifically because I was talking to my friend Liz about it,
That made me watch.
and we were talking about it, and I was like saying something about I like the part when she meets Grace, and she's like, she never met Grace. I was like, yeah, she has a scene with Grace. No, she doesn't. Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. And when it aired here, it was like it came on from like 8 to 8:45.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it was like a full half
Oh,
hour
that's unfortunate.
without commercials. But when you guys got it, you got the syndicated
But
version.
we didn't even get that version on the DVD, which is unfortunate.
Bed, he'd like to have something
Oh.
else in charge.
That's all right.
It's a game we play.
Yeah, the Will is, you know, an air quotes here junkie because he's been on opiates for 3 days.
Yes.
And he's trying to score more pills, and Grace goes to the club where Madonna and Karen are.
Good night.
And
And when did you find out he was dead?
Grace talks more to Karen, and then she just says to Madonna, "Nice to meet you," and then she runs off. And Madonna goes, "She's really confident for someone with such small boobs."
Oh, that's good. I did like Madonna. It was, you know, I enjoy seeing her doing comedy where it's less taking herself
Yes,
seriously.
I like her very much doing comedy, and I thought it was funny.
And how she's a big in the music industry where she does those best of the 80s.
Jeffrey Roston and Dr. Alan Paley.
Hmm.
How long after you stopped dating
Well,
Dr. Paley?
when we were doing that thing on Facebook the other day, and I was talking about I Have People,
Yes.
and I was saying how I have Mitchell and Dakota, I was thinking of that when she says, when she was talking about Melissa and Keith.
I look at them, I look
They
at my
were-
watch, and they just know.
I never heard his name before.
They just get
Never
it.
saw his picture in the paper.
You don't read the paper.
And I love Karen's reaction, which is just
Is
like,
it
wow.
your sworn testimony that by
She goes, I love it how you do that come down. It's alright.
I love it when you do cut to me. Karen, Megan's a physical comedy during that scene was very funny too, when she couldn't figure out how to open the can of soda.
And then Madonna burping. It was very cute. It was good to see her.
Do you think you're capable of just answering this?
Although, because I've been rewatching it lately, just to have it on every now and then. I really liked Sharon Stone in it. I thought she did well with her
The
comedy.
night of Mr. Marsh's death, were you watching a
I think I'd
pornographic
stopped
videotape
watching by that
Yeah.
point.
Objection as to the characterization.
An explicit videotape?
Well, Andrew used to say, why watch
Well,
that?
they had asked her, the producers asked her to do Will and Grace, and she had never seen the show before.
If you had finished having
And
sex and Mr. Marsh was asleep as you
what they
stated,
did
why
was
would you
they sent her a
arouse
bunch
them?
of tapes of other celebrities, like, you know, when Kevin Bacon was on and stuff like that. And she said she thought it was hilarious, and that was why she decided to
Oh,
do
nice.
it.
I wasn't sure because
Staying. Watch
I think at
yourself
one
with
stage she
the
was offered a role, like a cameo on Sex and the City, maybe, and turned it down because it was a show she had never heard of either.
Before having sex with
And
him
so maybe
the
that
night of
was
his death.
she started taking a bit more notice of stuff that was offering her that she might have been good for her career.
Well, I stand corrected.
Well, she's known for not watching
Did
TV,
you engage
so.
in any other forms of dominance with the victim? Did you, for example, beat him?
Objection. The specifics of the sexual relationship between the victim and the defendant have no bearing on the charges against her.
The state has an obvious interest in a pattern of abuse that ended with the death of the victim.
Abuse.
Answer the question.
This is sexual abuse. And that is abuse with sex.
Did you humiliate him?
I never humiliated
That's right.
him much.
She used that puss as a weapon.
You have a weakness.
She took those beef curtains and
Don't you, Miss Carlson?
Oh my god. You always have to go
strangled
one
them.
step too far.
You aren't afraid to explore.
Had a chokehold.
And I own a gallery. People I meet tend to have money. I don't ask for profit and loss statements.
Are we supposed to believe that Jeffrey Roston and Andrew Marsh are both coincidences?
Had nothing to
I remember her eyes are very, very blue here. And I think her eyes change color.
Okay.
I don't know if she wears contacts or if they just change color, because sometimes they're very, very blue and sometimes they're more of a darker blue.
Well, I feel that they're either blue or like a greyish. But here they're...
Yeah.
I think she's got maybe a strong corona.
Corona?
You know, like she's got a lining around the eye. That sort of... maybe that changes.
Yeah, the corona.
Color.
Yeah. Yeah, the corona changes color. That's what it does. There's also a moment in Swept Away when she's on the boat and her eyes are very, very blue.
Yeah. But I feel that movie was quite saturated. That the colours were quite... I haven't seen it in such a long time, but I remember the yellows and oranges being quite vivid.
He was in bed with another man.
I could see that coming at a time zone
Well,
away.
my friend who I was watching this with did.
I never knew that about him.
He was calling everything during these courtroom scenes. I was shocked. I was like, you really should have been a lawyer.
Yeah. I'm always shocked by people who will hear a song for the first time and actually can guess the lyrics as they're coming.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Mr. Rustin isn't here to defend himself. You can say anything you want about it.
Yes, he is.
Ask the flamer yourself. Yes,
Ask him if he
queen.
enjoys the penis. Oh my god.
I like that cock. Now I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
you need to settle. Pump your brakes.
I'll be in the men's room. The middle stall.
No further questions.
Tap if you need me.
If you're a Republican, put your foot under the door.
Your Honor, the defense rests.
That scene when she testifies, I think, is okay. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's bad.
Well, I think
but
her watered eyes through the whole thing were a bit of an overkill.
Yes, I think so
And I
too.
think that's what...
And you can tell she was trying to... I think in that scene she was blinking a lot because she was trying to produce more tears. Yeah, yeah, and when she makes her voice kind of quiver, I mean, it's... but again, it's not terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just not the best moment in the movie as far as her performance goes.
It's kind of weird because she is known as a singer. To expect her to have excellent acting chops and to criticize her so badly when it doesn't pull through is unreasonable.
Well, I think
it does seem like punishment. That's entirely what all these criticisms feel like.
Ladies and gentlemen,
well, Barbara Streisand was ridiculed pretty badly when she first started doing movies.
Yeah.
It took her a while to get respect, but I think it's a lot of it too has to do with her being so famous and such a recognizable name and face that people have trouble detach or believing her as somebody else.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't see the character; they see Madonna.
Yeah. But I feel that Cher could do it.
Cher could. Well, Cher's a stronger actress.
Okay. And I guess, I mean, Cher had the years of experience on her show, which I know isn't, wasn't good acting, but it still gives you practice for acting.
Thanks.
Oh, I love this.
You almost got
That was a good delivery. A very good delivery. Not only do I love the way she delivered the line, but I love the face that she gives them.
I think had the film been more like
and
that...
I love that Joe Mantegna heard it too.
Yes.
And it's a shame that she doesn't have any scenes with him.
Yeah, yeah. And then this very sudden ending where she's arguing with...
Another one of my favorite lines is when she's running down exactly what she did.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Why are you telling him?" And she goes, "He's telling us." There's so much about this scene that just makes me so happy. This is going to be another repeat of when we did Sleepaway Camp, and I sounded so coked up because I was so
containing
excited.
your orgasm.
I was bouncing in my moistened seat.
We ever slept, did we, Frank?
That's another good line.
So hurt, Alan.
I don't think we ever slept, did we, Frank?
I fucked Andrew. I fucked Frank. That's what I did.
Oh, there's your Yahoo line.
And it made me $8 million.
So you're fucking Dr. Paley here, and he mentions a rich patient, a rich, delicate patient, and you figure you can fuck yourself into the will. You know how to do that.
I'm hard to resist.
The coke came from Dr. Paley, didn't it?
Made it on Tracy.
Why are you telling him?
He's telling us.
Fuck if you didn't play me perfect. Paley goes on the stand, makes you look guilty as hell. Then you set me up to destroy him so
I don't understand how they could have not had this scene.
You're real.
No, but maybe she survived it. As in...
I always thought the message on the answering machine.
Oh, she doesn't go out the window. Okay. Maybe.
What are you doing? Ambulance chasing?
Getting excited.
Looking for a new client? Talk to Alan. Thinks he's in trouble.
You're right. I've forgotten you already.
I've forgotten you already.
You hit Madonna. Oh my God. That should be a cardinal sin.
Yes.
I could do without the 80-yard gasps.
My vase!
My face! Oh my God!
You shot my vase!
One guy. Were you doing the First Wives Club?
No, I was doing, sorry.
Oh, I thought that's
the
what you were
Golden
doing.
Girls, when Betty White shoots the vase.
Oh, I thought you were doing when Bette Midler slaps Goldie Hawn.
That was my face.
No, it's my face. Oh my God. But when I during a conversation before I ended up dating this guy, we were talking about that movie, and one of his favorite scenes was always, or moments, was always one of my favorite moments, and that was when Goldie Hawn goes to the funeral and she sees Maggie Smith, and right when she turns to walk away, Maggie Smith goes, "And your lips."
It's a tragedy.
And she reaches out a hand to touch them.
No,
but he said
Midler
he was in
reaches
the,
out her hand to touch them.
No, that's later when she says that they wax.
She gets to take out.
But no, he said he saw that theatrically and he couldn't stop laughing. He had to pull his shirt over his mouth. because he couldn't stop Maggie Smith and Juliet.
I loved every scene that Maggie's in. And even Sarah Jessica Parker, like, talking about the salad dressing.
Fork.
Yeah.
She's someone. She's something. She had her roots done, clearly.
See,
for this.
And the fact, I feel like she wouldn't float.
Not right away.
Yeah. Unless she had those really cheap implants.
She didn't have implants at this time.
Oh, then she shouldn't be floating.
Didn't you see when she was finger blasting herself? They went right down. If they were fake, they would have been staying up, saying, "Hello, we're still here."
Whatever you call it, people usually get what
Saying,
they
"Is it
deserve."
cold in here, or is it just me?"
Except for lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
You should have won the case, Bob.
I did.
Well, she didn't deserve to die for fucking people to death.
Oh my God! Listen to that sad
It's like,
music.
boo-hoo, Madonna's died. Actually, this is tragic, but I remember a long time ago on the radio, they're talking about weird reasons people have called in sick, and someone said they called in sick when John Candy died, and I thought, like, I could imagine doing that when Madonna does eventually pass, like being that upset by it.
I thought your allegiance was more to Kylie.
Well, yeah, but Madonna seems far more immortal, so it would be weirder.
Mm.
Well, that was body of evidence. Because her body was the weapon.
I remember when it was so sad when Kylie had breast cancer.
Yeah.
And her hair was just growing back, and she was like finally making public appearances and stuff. And there was a picture of her on the red carpet, and she had the really, really close cropped hair. And Perez Hilton was making fun of her dress.
Oh, okay.
The poor woman just had chemo.
Is a
Leave
bit
her
of a
the
dick.
fuck alone. Jesus Christ. I don't remember what it was. I think it was something about some documentary or something about because he's become totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
now. Nobody gives a shit about Perez Hilton, but he was being interviewed. I forget what was the documentary about. It was like something about being publicly shamed, or you know what it was? It was, I think.
You go.
I think it was that one that I told you about, where the girl was harassed
about canceling
for being the president
Yes.
of her university. Yeah. Pretty sure it was that. And they were interviewing Perez Hilton because I guess that he was considered to be an online bully.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was trying to garner sympathy because he forced some tears and was like, I know a lot of people are going to be very happy when I finally die. And there's nothing that I can do about that.
Well, at least you're bringing someone happiness. He really needs to just own. I mean, I don't think I found him like to be a bad, like in the vein of the paparazzis, because didn't he just like really correlate the information that he was finding online anyway? It wasn't.
Yeah, pretty much.
It wasn't like as if he was going out to investigate these things.
No.
Like, because I think famously it was like he wrote everything in like the McDonald's or Starbucks with the free Wi-Fi. It's not. But yeah, his far less relevant than I think anyone likes to suggest he is.
Yeah, and it's been a long time. Not as long as Paris Hilton's been irrelevant.
I've been watching her cooking show. That was quite fun when it came, when it came out. When she made a lasagna, it was stupid. I watched that once before a Zoom job interview just to get myself in a happy mood.
Yeah,
but I didn't get the
watch
job.
the First Wives Club.
Oh no, I just wanted something quick.
And your lips.
Look at me.
So,
I'm talking Tina Turner, Mick Jagger. Fill him up.
Does she say Tina Turner?
Yeah, I'm quite sure she does.
Tina Turner doesn't have big lips.
Oh. Maybe not on the face.
Oh, God. I know she says, I want Jagger with gnashed teeth.
Yeah, I'm quite sure. Yes.
I like that, though, that she was able to make fun of herself
Yes.
in that movie.
No, I still enjoy it very much. I get a good cackle out of it.
Did you know that the woman who wrote the novel died when she was having a facelift?
Really?
Yeah, there was some kind of complication, and she died on the table.
Like Kanye West's mother.
Yeah. Well, she was getting lipo, wasn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, she was cosmetic surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, she was getting a facelift and she died on the table. I don't know if she wrote any other books that were, if she did, if that were anywhere near as successful as the First Wives Club.
On Rotten Tomato, it gets 50%. But I mean,
Body of evidence.
No, the First Wives Club. But I still like it.
Well, all gay men like the First Wives Club, don't you know that?
Oh, I don't know. Gay men of a certain age.
Yeah, I would say the
I'm hoping the younger
generation
ones enjoy it as well. You know, it's.
Well, the younger ones probably have no idea who Bette Midler, Goldie Hawn, or Diane Keaton are.
Yeah.
They don't even know who Elizabeth Berkley is. They don't know Saved by the Bell.
No, I wouldn't get the. Grow from love. Well, that was an enjoyable experience.
Well, thankfully, they wouldn't know what's his face. Who was...
yeah, the Seventh Heaven Ring of Hell guy. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear Kevin Spacey's got a new allegation?
No, okay. Well,
God knows what the fuck he's been doing. So, do you have any new thoughts, or did you recognize anything that you would like to address, or something? When did you watch this, by the way?
a few nights ago.
Did you watch it with Matthew?
No, but I like to study these, so I pay attention to them.
Well, then you can watch it more than once.
Yes.
As what you should do if you're that much of a student, a scholar. You watch it by yourself. You take notes. Then you watch it with Matthew, and then you watch it with me.
Yeah, but I like to stay fresh. I don't want to be making these comments off mic. I'm like RuPaul that way. If it happens off mic, it doesn't matter.
Well, if you want to stay fresh, all you need is a little Summer's Eve.
Yes.
Yes. Fresh as a daisy.
A bit of Jean Chalet. I forget the one it's called because it's American.
Jean
Tay, yes.
That's something old ladies use.
Hey, what do old ladies
Okay.
taste like?
I don't know.
Depends.
Oh, God.
And that's my final thought.
Good. Okay.
What does Madonna
well,
taste
that was
like?
body of evidence. Like
Willem Dafoe's breast.
sugary, sweet pop icon goodness.
Like hard candy. Yes.
There you go. Exactly. That is what I should have said. See?
She's the candy perfume girl.
That would have been... God damn it. Even though I hate that record. Turkish Delight. Okay. So that was Body of Evidence. And I want to thank Tony for joining me for this one.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And I want to thank everybody for listening. So I hope you'll come back next week for another episode of the Blind Rage Podcast. Until next time, this is Brandon Ford wishing you all unpleasant dreams.
Oh God.